Good morning, world.
Good morning out there, everyone. Well, me and Brian have tackled a bunch of topics lately, and we decided to have fun with one, and we want to see how much fun it's going to be. Now, we've tackled the great toilet paper debate, we've tackled some other things, but we want to tackle a topic that we're going to need a lot of feedback from you out there. And we're going to tackle that topic of, can men and women be friends? I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian.
All right, welcome to our show, ladies and gentlemen. As I alluded to in our intro, we're going to tackle a topic that's been, it burns up the airways, and you get some pretty definite opinions about it. Can men and women just be friends? Now, we're going to give you two different perspectives here. One from a married man, being Brian, and one from a divorced guy, me. I don't even know where to start with this, Brian, but we'll just jump right into it. I'm going to go with this.
You picked this quagmire.
Oh, see, I knew that. I knew this was going to happen. If you talk to a lot of people out there, they will say absolutely, positively not.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey has said it.
All of my friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that.
If you go on anything, though, they'll say absolutely not. It's not possible. I'm here to tell you it is possible, but it's challenging. Can you walk across thin ice? Yeah. I don't recommend doing it. So I'm going to use that analogy to let you know that it's possible, but it can be a challenge.
Is it worth it if you're in a relationship already?
As a married man, Brian and Azure have been married. How long have you guys been married now?
20 years.
20 years. And me and Brian were talking about this. In 20 years of marriage, and I consider Brian one of my best friends. I also consider his wife, Azure, one of my best friends. But I can't even count on one hand the number of times Azure and I have been alone together, like ran to the store together, or I've come to the house waiting for you to get home, or things like that. Would anything happen? Absolutely not. But it's just one of those things where you just don't challenge it. And Brian will be okay if we had to go do something, or if I had to pick her up. We just don't.
That's different than, let's say, you just meet a woman, and you decide, you're just going to be friends. I mean, does that really happen?
I don't think that happens. I think you would have a very hard time, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you came home from work today and said, hey, I met this person at Starbucks. She's really into the Anaheim Ducks. She loves the LA Rams. I think we're going to hang out. Now, if you guys hung out, the three of you hung out together, or if she had a significant other, that's one thing. But you two one-on-one, going out and hanging out as friends,
I
don't see that happening.
Yeah. Again, that's different than, let's say I hung out, like I have friends from high school, again, that are couples. And if I hung out with my old friend, that's probably, I don't think there's a problem. But yeah, just meeting somebody randomly, like if you were single, and then saying, oh, we're just friends, as a guy. And maybe, so we're speaking from a male perspective. And I know that women might think things a little bit different, at least, when you talk to Steve Harvey and some of the women that react to him, you view it maybe a little different. But I believe that the male brain is just a little different. Any females out there, I mean, if you have any experiences with this, from your perspective, I don't know if you realize what that male friend's perspective is on the other side. If he knows absolutely that you're just going to be friends, it may work, but I bet you 9 times out of 10, he's waiting for, if he's single and you're single, he's waiting for that moment when you're, I don't want to say vulnerable, but when maybe he thinks that you think that he's attractive, and I just don't know, unless two couples are friends, if you can just have a friend that's a female. I don't know, as a married person, if I would want to do that to my spouse. I know that if my wife says she had just met a guy and they're just friends and they hang out, I don't think so.
Well, because in all seriousness, because if Azure had another male friend and she said, well, I'm going to go shopping with him, and you're thinking, what void is he feeling in her life that you're not feeling? Yeah. And vice versa.
And just why?
Being that I'm not a millennial or Generation Y, we're Generation X, I think communication is huge with our generation. And if I meet someone, and I think very early on, you tell yourself, you know what, like you, but this isn't going to go any further. We can be friends. I think you have to kind of make a decision then, because people are usually in one of three categories. Either they're very good acquaintances, they're casual friends, or they become a little bit more than that. And if you're okay with having everyone has acquaintances. Look at your Facebook. Do you really have 900 friends?
what do you call what are you calling a friend? I mean, like me and you will go out and we'll hang out, we'll have a beer, we'll go to a movie together. But do you think Azure would be okay if you were a female and I did that? Oh,
Absolutely
Azure,
not.
I'm having a beer with,
Cedrica.
Cedrica. We're gonna go have a beer afterwards or some wine.
Is it my long flowing locks? And that's your perspective as a married man. Me being a single guy, there are men and women in my life who are in those different buckets. I have some male friends and women friends who are casual friends, and I have some who are acquaintances. And you just understand, you draw the line. And then I have those female friends where I'm like, hey, let's go out and grab a bite to eat. Let's go out to a movie. Let's go out and have a beer. And that's what we do.
It can happen. I mean, anything can happen. I know. So when I was younger, when I was single, I had people that I would say, hey, I just want to be friends with. But one or the other. So either they're going to be attracted to you or you're going to be attracted to them, usually. I mean, there may be those instances where you really are like brother and sister and you're just sexually repelled from each other, and then that'll be fine. But in my experience, there's always been one of the two ends up being attracted to the other one and wanting more.
Right.
Harry met Sally.
Is that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
That's not true. I have a number of men friends and there is no sex involved.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
You
do.
only think you do.
You're saying I'm having sex with these men without my knowledge?
No, what I'm saying is they all want to have sex with you.
They do not.
Do too.
They do not.
Do too.
How do you know?
Because no man can be friends with a woman that he finds attractive. He always wants to have sex with her.
So you're saying that a man can be friends with a woman he finds unattractive?
No, you pretty much want to nail him too.
So I think if you're single, I think it's okay. And if you develop into a relationship, that's fine. I mean, maybe that's how you meet your soulmate.
Right.
But if you go in expecting that you're just going to be friends, there's a good chance that one of you may get hurt. It's hard, especially if you start spending, if it becomes like when they call it your best friend. Oh, my best friend is a female. It's like, well, they're filling a void, and maybe you don't have any friends of the same sex that you can just hang out with. But I think it gets really complicated.
Yeah. It can be done.
Okay. Cedric says it can be done. What do you say?
I think it's easier. It is easier for me to do it and more socially acceptable for me to do it than you as a married man to do it.
I think in most cases you're playing with fire.
Right.
If you're married or if you're in a committed relationship. But as a single person, again, there's not going to be any taboo against it because who's going to care? But in my experience, usually, unless you become a couple, one of you will probably end up getting hurt.
Right.
You of the younger generation, maybe you were more open-minded, but we're trying to give you impart some of our wisdom because human nature is human nature, and you'll experience it eventually in your life where you think things seem fine, and then one of the parties ends up, becoming involved in a way that the other person wasn't really anticipating.
Yeah.
So.
Being an extrovert that I am, I love people. I love having friends, and I know where the boundaries lie with my friends. Can it be challenging, like Brian said? Absolutely. But as long as you know where those boundaries lie, don't see a problem with it.
Okay. We'll have to maybe agree to disagree.
It's okay. We'll do that. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian.
We'll see you next time.
See you.
Giggled your ass off with the whole marriage thing. Why do I know it's possible? Because...
Should I be laughing?
Wow. I'm here to tell you that it is absolutely possible, but... Dude, come on! Friendship, is it okay?
Holy crap.
Oh, that's a blooper.
Oh, I lost me. Hold on. Gaffer tape.
Are we done now?
You're the one who brought this up.
Oh my God! I told you it was gonna be a struggle for me.
And so he says he can maintain some friends that are females, but then he ends up marrying them. Okay, I'll cut that out.
God. Wow. Anyways, that's why I didn't want to do this segment.